All right, let's just get straight to it. You've met her, there was a spark, everything felt electric, and then, poof, she just faded away. Ghosted. Lost interest. You're left scratching your head, wondering what the hell happened. You replay every text, every date, trying to pinpoint the exact moment it all went south. And look, sometimes it's her, sure. But most of the time, the answer is right there in the mirror, buddy. You did something or stopped doing something that made her tap out. You think you're being the good guy, or you get comfortable, or you just stop trying. And women, we notice. We always notice. We're not going to tell you directly most of the time because, frankly, it's not our job to educate you on how to be an attractive man. So today, we're cutting through the BS. I'm going to lay out exactly why she probably lost interest, and trust me, it's not what you think. If you're ready to hear the truth, the actual, raw truth, stick around. Because knowing this isn't just about getting the girl, it's about becoming a better man for yourself. Welcome back. It's your girl, Roxy. We are back with another one. Make sure you hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribing to the channel. Okay, let's get into it. You think being nice is your superpower, don't you? Like if you're just nice enough, agreeable enough, she'll automatically be yours. But here's the cold, hard truth. Being too nice is often your kryptonite, not your charm. And yeah, I said too nice, because there's a huge difference between genuine kindness and performative niceness that just screams, I want your approval. When you're constantly available, always saying whatever you want for dinner, for dates, for plans, you lose all intrigue. You become predictable. There's no challenge. She doesn't have to wonder about you because you're an open book. And frankly, a bit of a doormat. She wants a partner, not a puppy. She's not looking for someone who mirrors her every thought and desire. She wants someone with their own mind, their own opinions, their own life. Imagine this. Every time you ask her what she wants to do, you respond with, sounds good to me, or I'm down for whatever. It seems flexible, right? Easygoing? In reality, it signals a lack of initiative, a lack of your own preferences, or even a fear of expressing them. After a while, she starts feeling like she's dating herself, or worse, like she's leading the entire interaction. That's exhausting. Women are attracted to men with direction, men who can take charge in a healthy way. You need to have your own perspective, even if it sometimes differs from hers. That creates polarity. That creates attraction. If you're always just a reflection of her desires, you blend into the background. And trust me, she doesn't want to just be friends with you because you're so nice. She wants to date a man who knows what he wants. And this often ties directly into why guys stop growing as soon as they think they've got the girl. Remember how you were when you first met her? You were probably driven, had goals, talked about your ambitions, maybe hit the gym, or were deep into a project. You were a man on a mission. What happened? For too many guys, once they get the girl, or even just get past the initial few dates, they hit the brakes on self-improvement. Complacency sets in like a bad habit. You stop working on your career, your fitness routines become optional, your hobbies gather dust, and your mental growth? Forget about it. You basically stop trying. She fell for the trajectory, not just the current state. She was attracted to the potential, the drive, the man who was actively building something for himself. Think about it. She saw a man with a future, a man with momentum. If that momentum stops, so does her interest. She's not looking for someone who peaked the day she met him. She wants a partner who continues to evolve, to challenge himself, to inspire her. If you swap your gym time for couch time, your passion projects for endless scrolling, and your ambitious conversations for complaining about work, she's going to notice. That initial spark, the one that made her think, this guy has his act together, it starts to fizzle. And before someone in chat pipes up with, but Gigi, I am comfortable. Isn't that a good thing? Look, comfortable isn't the same as complacent. Big difference. Comfortable means you're secure and happy. Complacent means you've stopped growing, stopped striving. And that's a red flag. She wants someone who has his own life, his own passions, because that makes him interesting. And when you stop growing, it really messes with how you connect with people, especially her. All right, communication is key, right? Everyone says it. But what kind of communication are we actually talking about? Because a lot of guys mess this up in one of three ways: too much, too little, or just plain bad. Let's break it down. Too much means you're constantly texting, checking in, double texting if she doesn't reply in 5 minutes. You're smothering her. It screams neediness and insecurity. She needs space to miss you, to wonder about you, to feel like she has her own life separate from being constantly connected to you. You're not her personal assistant. Then there's too little. You're ghosting, giving one-word answers, making her guess your intentions, or taking 12 hours to reply to a simple question. This makes her feel unimportant, like an afterthought. She's not a mind reader. If you're interested, act like it. If you're busy, say so briefly. Don't leave her hanging because you're playing some weird game or just genuinely forgot how to use your phone. And finally, just bad communication. This is complaining constantly, bringing negativity, creating drama, being passive-aggressive, or refusing to express your needs clearly. She's your potential partner, not your therapist. She doesn't want to be constantly drained by your emotional baggage or stuck deciphering your cryptic messages. Imagine she sends you a funny meme or asks about your day, and your reply is a dry LOL or fine. Or on the flip side, imagine you send her 4 texts in a row, each one progressively more anxious, just because she didn't respond to your first one immediately. Neither of those is effective or attractive communication. Good communication isn't about constant contact. It's about quality, clarity, and showing respect for both your time and hers. It's about expressing yourself authentically without being a burden. And honestly, a lot of bad communication stems from making her the absolute center of your universe, rather than having your own compelling life. Okay, this is a big one. Does your world shrink to the size of her living room once you start dating? Yeah, she notices that. A lot of guys, when they start seeing someone, suddenly drop all their friends, their hobbies, their ambitions. Your life becomes exclusively about her. Every free moment is dedicated to being with her or trying to be with her. She becomes your entire universe. And while that might sound romantic in a cheesy movie, in real life, it's a massive turnoff. It signals a lack of personal drive, an absence of a compelling mission or purpose outside of her. She wants a partner with his own vibrant life, his own passions, his own friends. She wants to join an exciting life, not become your entire life. When you cancel plans with your buddies for a vague chance she might want to hang out, or when you have nothing to talk about beyond what she did today, she starts to feel suffocated and, frankly, bored. You become less interesting because your identity is now entirely wrapped up in her. That puts immense pressure on her to be your sole source of happiness, entertainment, and validation. That's a heavy burden for anyone to carry, and it quickly extinguishes any romantic spark. She needs to see that you have a rich, fulfilling life that existed before her and will continue with or without her. That's attractive. That's inspiring. A man with purpose is magnetic. And when your life revolves around her, it's easy to let go of the simple things that initially drew her in, like how you actually present yourself. All right, this one might sting, but someone has to say it. Did you stop showering or buying new clothes? Or at least, stop putting effort into looking decent. It's not about being a supermodel or wearing designer brands. It's about basic self-respect. When you first met, you probably dressed well, made sure you smelled good, had your hair cut. Then, a few dates in, suddenly you're showing up in stale clothes, smelling like you just rolled out of bed, or haven't seen a barber in months. You put in effort initially, and then you just stopped. She connects this lack of effort in your appearance to a lack of effort in other areas of your life, and potentially the relationship itself. If you can't be bothered to put on clean clothes or smell fresh, why would she think you'd put effort into her or into making the relationship work? It sends a clear message. I've got you now, so I don't need to try anymore. That's a huge attraction killer. People are attracted to vitality and care. It's not superficial, it's fundamental. It shows you value yourself, and by extension, you value the time you spend with her. Imagine showing up for a dinner date in sweatpants you wore all weekend, smelling faintly of old pizza and gym socks, or consistently having bad breath when you lean in to talk. But GG, someone might type in chat, she loves me for me. Yeah, for me doesn't mean for my stale body odor and crusty shirt. Come on, let's be real here. It's not about transforming into someone you're not. It's about maintaining the basic level of self-care and presentation that you had when you were trying to impress her. Because you should always be trying to impress yourself. And that reflects outwards. This lapse in self-care often goes hand in hand with deeper emotional issues, like insecurity, that really chip away at attraction. Want to know a massive, glaring turnoff? Needing a woman to validate you. That screams emotional immaturity and deep insecurity. We're talking about jealousy, needing constant reassurance, passive aggressiveness, being unable to handle minor conflicts, shutting down at the first sign of disagreement, or overreacting to tiny things. These behaviors are like emotional quicksand. She's not your mother, and she's definitely not your therapist. She wants a partner who can stand on his own 2 feet, who is emotionally stable, and who has a healthy sense of self-worth. When you're constantly fishing for compliments, getting upset if she goes out with her friends without you, or pouting when she doesn't immediately text back, you're broadcasting your insecurity loud and clear. It's draining for her to constantly have to prop you up or reassure you. She starts to feel responsible for your happiness. And that's not a role she signed up for. True confidence is attractive. It's quiet. It's self-assured. It doesn't need external validation. Self-worth comes from within. If you're constantly looking for it in her, she's going to sense that emotional void and run the other way. She wants a partner who adds to her life, not one who siphons off her energy to fill his own emotional gaps. A secure man can handle disagreements, express his feelings respectfully, and trust his partner without being possessive. He doesn't need constant proof of her affection because he knows his own value. And part of emotional maturity, a huge part, is having strong boundaries, which is another area where many guys really slip up. You thought being flexible was good, right? Always accommodating, always saying yes? Nope. Being a pushover just shows you don't respect yourself. And that, my friend, is where attraction goes to die. This is about losing your boundaries and becoming a doormat. It happens when you let her get away with bad behavior, always say yes to her every whim, even if it inconveniences you, and compromise your own values or plans without a second thought. It's about being too scared to voice your needs, your disagreements, or to simply say no. When you don't respect yourself, she won't either. It's a fundamental principle. If you're constantly available, always bending over backward, and never challenging her in a healthy way, you lose your edge. You become someone who can be easily disregarded because you've shown you don't value your own time or needs. Imagine she cancels the last minute on your date for the 3rd time, and you just laugh it off with no worries, without any acknowledgement of your frustration or disappointment. Or she consistently disrespects your time or your friends, and you don't say anything because you're afraid of rocking the boat. That's not being understanding, that's being a pushover. A man with boundaries isn't rigid, he's self-respecting. There's a crucial difference. He knows what he wants, what he needs, and what he won't tolerate. He communicates these things clearly and calmly. That actually creates respect and, in turn, attraction. She wants to know that you have a backbone, that you stand for something. If you let her walk all over you, she's not going to see you as a strong, desirable partner. She'll see you as someone she can control, and that's just not sexy. All of this ties back to the very beginning, about who you are as a man, what you bring to the table, and whether you're continuously striving to be your best self. So, there you have it, the blunt truth. Most of the time, when a woman loses interest, it's not some random mystery. It's because you either stopped putting in the effort, you became complacent, or you let fundamental parts of your character slide. Whether it's becoming too nice, neglecting your own growth, fumbling communication, making her your entire world, letting your appearance go, showing emotional immaturity, or losing your boundaries. These are the silent killers of attraction. The good news? You can fix this. This isn't about changing who you are. It's about becoming the best version of who you are, consistently. It's about self-respect, purpose, and genuine effort. Start by picking one thing from this list today and making a conscious change. Don't wait for the next girl. Do it for yourself. If any of this resonated, if you've seen yourself in any of these points, hit that subscribe button. And tell me in the comments below, which one of these hit hardest for you? And what are you going to start working on first? I want to hear it. Stay sharp out there.